Hey guys, let's jump into the metaverse. What is it? Is it already here? What does blockchain have to do with it? And what's it going to look like in the future? These are all the things that we're going to cover today. This is a big topic and there's a lot of viewpoints, so if you have anything interesting to add, please add it in the comments. And I'll pick the top 3 best comments to send a $15 trading bonus to. So if you want that trading bonus, remember, leave a nice comment, leave a interesting comment, and also leave your Phemex UID so we know who to send that to. And of course, as always, also remember to follow, like, subscribe, and share the video. Cool, thanks. All right, let's get started. So, what is Metaverse? The word Metaverse is made up of the prefix meta, meaning beyond, and the stem verse, a back formation from universe. The term is typically used to describe the concept of a future iteration of the internet, made up of a persistent, shared, 3D virtual spaces linked into a perceived virtual universe. The metaverse, in a broader sense, may not only refer to virtual worlds, but internet as a whole, including the entire spectrum of augmented reality. Thanks, Wikipedia. As for my own definition, I think it's basically a word attempting to describe the situation we find ourselves moving toward, where online worlds and identities become increasingly immersive and ever more connected with our life in the real world. To get a better idea of this slippery metaverse concept, let's look at some examples of the metaverse in pop culture and in real life. The dominant metaverse examples in pop culture are movies like Ready Player One and Free Guy, which are centered around an immersive VR video game where people interact via avatars. Ready Player One is more directly focused on this concept as it portrays a much bigger VR world where players spend much of their time and money and even hang out with each other in the game rather than in real life. But we don't actually need pop culture references for metaverse examples because the metaverse is already here. If you take the definition at face value, any kind of video game is already metaverse, as they create a perceived virtual universe. Metaverse is more like a spectrum, and as of right now, games like Fortnite are at the forefront. Some of the notable attributes of metaverse games are highly customizable avatars, an open, immersive world, and the ability to play with other real players. Essentially, games in which you can play with your friends online are already a step into the metaverse. But additional functions like a large open world, ability to participate in multiple kinds of events, highly customizable avatars, and an economy of money and collectible assets all bring games further along in the metaverse spectrum. A major element of the immersion aspect is usually the ability to play with VR. Usually when we think about metaverse, we imagine games that we're playing with VR headsets, often taken even further beyond with some sort of haptic suit, gloves, maybe even a omnidirectional treadmill. Again, the more immersive, the more metaverse. Now, most of these elements exist apart from blockchain. They don't really have anything to do with blockchain. Blockchain doesn't help make a better VR necessarily. But what blockchain can help with is the idea of connecting an economy of money and collectible assets in a way that brings them even closer to real life. So let's look at some standard metaverse examples in blockchain. Some good examples of metaverse-like games currently in the crypto space are Decentraland and The Sandbox. Decentraland provides a virtual world where tons of players can gather. It has plots of virtual land you can buy and customize, and a place to incorporate different kinds of NFTs. For example, many Decentraland players use their virtual property to create studios in which they display NFT artwork. Sandbox uses a more Minecraft-like style to create an arguably more immersive world with a straightforward and stylistic creation interface that still allows for high levels of customization. Currently, NFT usage in the game is limited to Sandbox exclusive NFTs. However, this game is currently in early development and we don't know how much they're going to add in the future. So let's talk more about what blockchain can bring to the metaverse. Much like chips and dips, metaverse concepts and blockchain do exist separately, but they're naturally compatible. Sure, to this day, people sell their RuneScape items for fiat money, but that just doesn't flow as naturally as selling an Axie for the same currency you use to do everything else in-game. And also being able to directly use that currency on other platforms, both online and off. While the primary function of tokens like Sand and SLP is contained within their respective games, already these kinds of tokens can also be used for DeFi staking and lending, as well as being easy to sell for other cryptos or even fiat money. This status could easily be brought even further in the future, and further blend the difference between real money and in-game money. NFTs bring even more to the picture. Not only do they provide secure ownership of valuable in-game items, but by being on-chain, unique in-game items can be used between platforms. We haven't seen this happen much as of yet, but if two games use the same blockchain for their tokens and NFTs, one game could decide to make their own in-game item for holders of a unique NFT from another game. This could happen as a way to attract proved gamers to other games. Furthermore, NFTs that started outside of any game framework could also be incorporated into games. There's nothing stopping this. In fact, this out-of-the-box concept of starting the creation process from a non-traditional launchpad has already been used by Loot for adventurers. For those who don't know, Loot is an NFT collection that consists simply of text lists of what sound like they would be items in a fantasy game, but aren't yet associated with any game. They are literally just text with item names. The idea is that they're starting with the item names, and the exposure they gained will cause developers to incorporate them into future projects. This takes the idea of NFTs to an interesting place. We already know that they can be used for digital art and for in-game assets, but since they are already on large-scale existing blockchains, they don't have to be tied to any one use. It seems likely some game developer will take advantage of the automatic publicity offered by incorporating Loot into their game. But who's to say that only one game will do so? Not only could multiple games decide to incorporate Loot as in-game items, but artists could even gain exposure by creating renditions of the items from the Loot lists and airdropping them to the owners. These text lists could even manifest in the real world. For example, an owner of a Loot package might decide to commission physical versions of the listed Loot and promise to deliver them to whoever buys the NFT. One more use of NFTs in a metaverse scenario that you might not have heard of is non-transferable NFTs. Currently, Yield Guild Games, or YGG, has implemented this concept, and although there isn't a clear use case yet, we can imagine the possible use scenario. YGG is essentially looking to build a guild of gamers interested in blockchain gaming, and connecting with blockchain game projects to get some exclusive perks for their users. The game studio gets access to high-quality players, and members get access to game perks. Anyone can currently go and mint a YGG badge, which is an NFT that cannot be transferred out of your wallet. This is an interesting concept, and it makes sense for a badge proving association with a group. This makes it easier for YGG to keep track of their members, and if they have any exclusive perks or airdrops, it's convenient for them to send them to the correct people. One other aspect that makes blockchain suitable to the metaverse is there's already a built-in item to serve as your metaverse identity that doesn't have to be associated with your actual identity. And that's your wallet. We already see this on blockchain games. Most of them, you just connect to your MetaMask wallet, and that's your login. This doesn't have to be used, and they can still do the traditional thing where you build a profile on the game, but the wallet's already there, and it's already yours. It's always going to be yours. So it can act as your login information that you're in control of, and all of your assets and money and everything is associated with and goes to, and you have it, you own it, it's yours. It works smoothly and conveniently. So now that we've talked about some existing concepts, let's think about how they could look in the future if they continue being developed further. I've imagined up a theoretical future scenario for you, so come with me as I describe what you may be doing a few years from now. You put on your VR headset, jump into an online open world where you meet your friends as their in-game avatars, decked out with items that are also NFTs. You're in your in-game house on property that's also an NFT, and you're all preparing to try out a new game. but you want to look good in it. So you use a virtual screen to access an NFT marketplace and sell some property from a game that you haven't been playing recently to purchase skins for the new game. Now you're ready to jump into that new game. So you all connect your wallets to the game server and prove that you have early access permission with your non-transferable NFT badge. If this new game really takes off, maybe you'll make enough money on early game items to refurnish the kitchen in your real-life house. From this theoretical future example, you can see how NFTs and cryptocurrency on an existing big blockchain could really bring the metaverse to life with a real economy of goods and money. Unlike traditional online gaming, blockchain gaming can all be connected and intertwined. So in a normal game, maybe there's some form of currency in the game, but it stays there. You can't use it for anything else. Already with blockchain games, even if it's not real money, you can still use it for other things on that blockchain. And depending on how big it is, it gets easier and easier to convert it into any other crypto or fiat that you want. And the same goes for NFTs. They don't only have to be used for in-game assets in one single game. Other games can decide to incorporate them, or they can be incorporated in other ways. And as we've already seen time and time again, a lot of these NFTs, especially the really popular ones, have a lot of real-world value, which also further blurs the line between online gaming and real life. The more you make usable money by playing a game online, the further you are into the metaverse. All right, so we'll keep it at that for now. If you like the metaverse topic, let me know. Maybe I can talk about it more. If you're interested in any specific property of blockchain in the metaverse, also let me know. And once again, if you have anything interesting to say it in the comments with your Phemex UID, and I can send you that $15 trading bonus if it's a good one. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.